Welcome to Robot Tarot, Escape from the Matrix. All right, let's take a look at what we got here on the board. Before we do that though, the whole point, this announcement right here, check this out. All 16 MBTI, this is the board game. The game pieces, the elements, the parts, the pieces. As you may be familiar before, we've got the MBTI frame rate matrix here. If we look, frame rate, obviously, ego, unconscious, subconscious, superego. Frame rates of perception, around 53 frames per second. That's where we where we drop into the subconscious, the unconscious, excuse me. And the mirror action of that is the subconscious and superego. So if you look here, what I have here as the functions is the ideal personality, the perfect person. This is not a human. This perfect person cannot exist. Pretty much because there are 4 elements, ego, subconscious, superego, and unconscious, and they're all different MBTI on their own, right? Each one of these, so we need 4 of these. But if we look at the first the first element, which is usually the strongest one, right? For here, it's the it's the hero, here the nemesis. In this particular case, it's the INTJ in the ego, and the ESFJ in the unconscious. This is the vertical stack, which you're mostly focused in. Now, in most MBTI, or the rest of every other human being, the subconscious, and I'm flipping them around for a very particular reason, but say ENTP, which would not be for this one, but this would be your subconscious, and then corresponding for the superego. What's very interesting, if we take the first element of this, for each of these, what do we discover? They're the same. What does that mean? It means you take another one of these, this one right here, and you flip it around for the subconscious and the superego. This is a very interesting revelation when it comes to how personality is constructed, if you believe the personality is a filter for reality, which is what I do believe. So the game, Escape from the Matrix. As I have shown before in previous videos, the whole idea that gravity is a construct of perception of consciousness is that we are imploding our consciousness and therefore creating reality, and that also creates gravity, the attraction of that reality. So how are we going to make a board game out of this? For the same simple reason that if thoughts are electrical and emotions are magnetic, then we put the two together to have what we perceive as reality. So how can we do this? How can we put these two elements together to perceive reality? If you look down, my Substack for Robot Tarot, I have the full 125 scene script outline to follow along as the backstory for the board game, which again is its own creation, the movie itself. What we're going to do here is an ongoing project for developing the board game. But as you can see the pieces, you can see magnetic. So here's the element that we're going to add, and it's going to be in follow-up videos, is electricity. Now, light is considered electromagnetic. It's on the spectrum. Okay, right. So what we're going to do based off of anecdotal evidence by many others, and this is an emerging science, so we're going to apply art in this respect, so that way we can potentially discover in a gestalt manner a new reality. And that will be through shining visible laser light at these pieces where the magnets intersect the board. At that point, with our consciousness, we should be able, in theory, and it's noticed in practice. See the substrate of reality, to see the light codes, in particular from the sun. So, how can we possibly begin to engender this? How can we start this? Let's attempt to do it right now without the laser, just with the energy itself, with transmitting electrical and magnetic energy. And we'll see where we go. Let's begin. There's a certain amount, a threshold for which transmitting energy will be reciprocated. But with the use of the laser light, which we're going to do in subsequent videos, where we're going to go through the script scene by scene, and you can see I've already descended more into my heart chakra at this very moment, and that's part of the magnetic process. So, follow for the next one to continue to escape from the matrix on Robot Tarot, and I'll see you in the next one.